Alright, now let's get started. The first thing we'll need to do is create a folder for our project. Now you can click down here on this little folder icon and a window is going to appear where you'll probably see some folders like desktop, recycling bin. What you're looking for is the pictures folder. So here I'm going to scroll down and that's what the pictures folder looks like right there. If you don't have this folder on your taskbar, another way you can find it is by going to the Start menu and searching Pictures. Just go ahead and double click on Pictures and you will now be in your Pictures folder in your computer. So we are going to need to create a new folder in this Pictures folder. Now to do this, I'm going to click on the Home tab and here I have New Folder. If you don't have a Home tab, you can press on your keyboard Control-Shift-N, but make sure you've clicked inside this window first. Alright, so when you get a new folder, let's name it Digital Story or Movie Project, whatever you want to call it. Go ahead and press Return or Enter on your keyboard when you're done. Up here, these are called the breadcrumbs. This is basically a trail to where you currently are in your computer. As you can see, we're in the Pictures folder and we created our Movie Project folder. Alright, so now that we've got a folder, it's time to download some images from the internet. So we're going to click on Firefox, which is known as a web browser. You may use Google Chrome or Internet Explorer. Any one of those will do. So when your browser window opens up, it's probably going to look something like this, where you see a list of web pages. At the top of the window, you'll see a search bar. In there, you're going to want to type google.com because we're going to use Google to search our images. Here's Google here. I can click on the link and now we're at Google. So up in the top right corner, we can click on the images link, or we can type in images in this search window. Go ahead and click on Google Images or Images right here on this link. Now we're going to use this search bar to type in what we're looking for. I'll do a story on the 3 little pigs. So I'm going to type in 3 little pigs. When you're done, hit the Enter or Return key on your keyboard and you'll see a huge variety of images. Go ahead and use the scroll bar on the right by clicking and dragging. When you find an image you like, you click on it to get a better view. Now this is just a preview, it doesn't mean you've downloaded it yet. You can always scroll further down the page or back up the page. Or hit the X to go back to your search. But let's say you like an image. You click on the image. If you want to see more images in the same style, down here in the bottom right corner it says View More. If you click on that, now the search has given you more images in the style of that first picture that you selected. Now if you decide that that's not an image that you'd like to use, you can always go back up to the top of your search and click on the blue magnifying glass. What that'll do is search the last thing you typed in, 3 little pigs. And now we're back at the beginning of our search. So once again, find an image that you like, click on it, and this time to save the image, we're going to use something called a right click. This is clicking on the right side of our mouse. So when I right click right on the image, I get an option to save image as. Left click on that choice and you'll get a save window. Here you're going to name the file. So highlight the text or just delete the text and type in what you'd like to name it. That's the first part. The second part is to make sure that you save it to the folder we created earlier. So on the left, you can see the Pictures folder link. Click on that link, scroll and find the folder we created. Select the folder by double clicking on it or selecting with a single click and clicking open. And now you've got your file named and located, so go ahead and hit save. And there you go, you saved your first image to your folder. You can check to see if it's in there by clicking on the folder icon down here and going to pictures once again. Go ahead and find your folder movie project, double click on it, and there you go. Your first image has been saved. Good job. You can X out of that window. Scroll back up to the top of your browser and search for your next image. Alright, so let's do this one more time so you've got the hang of it. Type in a new search and press enter or return on your keyboard. Now this time, when you find the image you like, left click on it. This will give you a preview, and now you're going to right click on the image to bring up that save as option. Select save as with your left click. Remember to name the file and give it a location. Always those two things. Give it a name and give it a location. So over on the left, I'm going to make sure I've selected pictures and movie project. Pictures and movie project. So again, you can double click on your folder or select it and then click open. Look at the breadcrumbs up there. It says pictures movie project, so I can hit save. And now we've downloaded our second image. So you're going to want to repeat these steps until you've downloaded all the images you'll need for your story. Alright, now that we got all of our images, we're ready to start Movie Maker. Alright, so let's take a look at the layout here. Over here is where we can preview our movie. On the right is our timeline where we'll see our images as we add them. This is the time signature. And down here we have our rewind, our play, and fast forward buttons. At the top we've got a lot of tabs. The File tab for saving and sharing our project. We've got the Home tab where we can add photos and videos. We can add a title, credits, and we'll be using the Home tab a lot later on. Over here we have our Animations tabs, which we're going to be using for transitions and making our images come to life. Visual effects, if you'd like to put some cool effects on some of your images. And the Projects tab, where we can emphasize sound, music, and also choose what kind of film we want to have. And then we also have the View tab. Let's go back to Project. We're going to want to start with the Project tab and decide, are we going to have a standard size film or widescreen? Now this is totally up to you. A widescreen is when you have the black bars on top and bottom. I'm going to choose standard. So let's add a photo. So now we'll start with the title. Click the title button, and a title box will be placed on your preview. Change the text to whatever title you'd like. Now once you're done typing in your title, you have some options. Up here, this determines how long your title will appear for. And up here, the start time determines when the title will first appear. You can also resize this text box by clicking on the anchors. The anchors are these little points in the corners and on the top, bottom, left, and right of the text box. If you click and drag on those anchors, you can resize. And you can move the text box by moving your mouse to the edge of the box itself. You'll get these 4 arrows. From there you can click and drag your text or your title into place. Now to preview your title, go ahead and hit the play button. Now that you've got a great title, you'll want to add an effect to the way the title appears on the screen. Hang your mouse over these choices and you'll get a preview of what that effect looks like. Or you can click this drop arrow to get all of the options. Use the scroll bar on the right to scroll down and see more choices. At this point, go ahead and pick what you prefer, whatever fits your project the best. Another really neat way to view your film is to click and drag this little time bar right here. As you move it to the left, you're rewinding, and as you move it to the right, you're fast forwarding. Alright, so it's time to add our first photo. Click the Home tab and click the Add Photos or Images button. Here, you're looking at a window into your computer. This is where you're going to want to locate that Pictures folder once again. Select it, and then locate the folder we created where we stored all of our images. Once you've opened that folder, select the image you're looking for, and then click on the Open button. Notice how the image has been added to your timeline. So now we'll want to put a nice transition from our title to our first slide. So click on the Animations tab up here at the top, and then just hang your mouse over these choices like we did earlier, and you'll get a cool preview. Once again, if you'd like to see more options, click this drop arrow and scroll through all the wonderful choices. Now that we've selected a transition, you know we're going to want to see what it looks like in our film. So we can slide this bar back or even hit the rewind button here. That's going to be more like a slow motion. You can also drag back this little bar here. There's so many ways to rewind and fast forward. So I'm going to start at the beginning and hit play. And sit back and watch the magic unfold. Alright, so that's pretty much all there is to adding images to your story. You're just going to want to repeat that process until you've gotten all the images into your timeline. Let's make sure we got it down though. So we'll do one more. Again, you're going to want to go up to the Home tab, click Add Images and Photos, scroll through your folder, locate your image, and click Open. There you see our timeline is slowly being extended. Once again, to add a transition, you go up to Animations and click on the transition of your choice. Now some of your images might need a caption, so select the image on your timeline by clicking on it, head up to the Home tab, and then click the Caption button located here. Now you'll see that text has appeared on our preview screen. Go ahead and type in your caption. As you can see, not all text is going to look right with your image. So this is how we edit our text. Let me just finish up typing this little caption here. So let's go ahead and move this text box like we did earlier, and I'm going to show you how to edit the text. What you're going to have to do is highlight it. This is a click and drag from one end to the other. And up here you can left align, right align, or center align your text. You can also make it bold, italic, some basic edits. And if you click this drop arrow, you can even change the color. Some colors may show up better on your images than others. So we'll add another photo to our timeline so we can demonstrate this feature. With the picture selected on the timeline, we're going to go up to the Animations tab. And this time on the right, where we have Pan and Zoom, you'll notice that when you hang your mouse over these choices, the image begins to move. This is a nice touch for a project that could seem a little stagnant. Use these Pan and Zoom options to really bring your project to life. Alright folks, we'll go ahead and repeat that process until you've added all of your images to your project. I'll check back with you in a minute. Okay, now we've got all of our transitions, pans, and zooms and images. It's time to add music. Go to the Home tab and hit the Add Music key. You can use these free websites here to find music. Hopefully you have your own. Select Add Music down here, and you'll see a window that's giving you a view into your own computer's music. So you have to search to wherever you saved your music at, select the file and click Open. Now this green timeline that's been added is strictly an audio timeline, and if you click on it or double click on it, you get these cool musical features. These audio features allow you to customize your sound, like fading in and fading out. Now in my case, the track I chose isn't long enough to take up the entire project. So here's how you can copy and paste the track that you have in your project. Select the track and press Command-C or Control-C if you're on a PC. Move the timeline bar to where you want to paste and press Command-V or Control-V if you're on a PC. You can then move the soundtrack by clicking and dragging it into the place where you want it to be. Alright, so I've skipped ahead so that you can see what it looks like when your soundtrack has filled up the entire project. And with that, there's only one last thing to do, and that's to finish with the credits. So click on the Home tab, go down here to the Credits button, and notice there's a few different options in here. We're going to start with the credits. And this is just another text box, the same kind that we've dealt with before. Notice that the credits have been added to the timeline, and you can move your time bar to see how they're going to look, or hit the play button. Go back to credits and you can choose director. So obviously you guys are going to enter your name here. Once again, previewing what it looks like. And just continue on adding as many credits as you'd like. Definitely make sure you give credit to the artist that you chose for your soundtrack. The rest is up to you.
The healing one.
Alright, and now it's time to finish your project. Click on the File tab and you can save it. You can share it to one of the social media sites, or you can also save it as a movie file. Go down here to this option here. You can choose what type of movie file you'd like to save it as. Recommended for this project, high definition for a computer, and there's even more options if you click on this arrow down here. You can use any one of these options depending on what you want to do with your film. Well, that's about it for us today, folks. Congratulations on completing your digital story. Now go out there and share it with the world.
Touch our hearts to see.